Morning, everybody. How are you? Welcome to Spelling with Jules. Good morning, Ronan. Good morning, Stephen. Bang on time. Ronan's always there half an hour early, which I love. And he's there as my timekeeper. So welcome. And I'm sure others will join us. I'm just looking for my pen. I was just writing something down. So the first thing to do this morning in our Spelling with Jules is, have you noticed, Stephen particularly, that I have change the colour of Spelling with Jules to yellow? Good morning, Isla. Happy sunny morning. I agree. It's lovely and sunny out there. If we have a check-in, just to say I'm very pleased with myself for doing Spelling with Jules in yellow. I'm still, Stephen, trying to work out my thumbnail, so I may need some help with that. I might email you later. You've just seen it, have you, Ronan? Yeah, good. And I'm feeling great this morning. I think I've had a few days where I felt a little bit out of sorts. I think it got to me a bit, this lockdown. I'm sure it does everybody. But I seem to have had a good night's sleep and I feel great this morning. So I don't know about you. How are you all feeling? It's always good to check in because your learning will change depending on how anxious you are or how relaxed you are. So the more relaxed you are, then your learning improves. So it's good to just check in with yourself and see how you are. So I hope you're all okay. We will have a quick retrieval and remember what we did last lesson. And then we'll do our spelling quiz. And then we'll look at our new letters and do some words. So Ronan, your hand hurt. Oh, you've got pins and needles, have you? Well, your hand hurts. Oh dear. Well, that's going to, depending, is it your writing hand? Because that might change. So you might have to do a bit more thinking. Florrie's good. Excellent. It's good to see you this morning. Okay, so let's, quick reminder that today we've nearly finished. So I'm running roughly with ReadWriteInc, which is just a phonic program that you do at school. And they have set 1, set 2, and set 3. These two, and unk, are the last two in set 1. So we will have done spellings of letters and sounds for everything in set 1, which is great. But we have actually done some bits from set 2 and set 3 because we always look at the different types of sounds that each letter makes. So, oh, it's not your writing hand. Oh dear. Oh, that's a shame, Ronan. Okay, well, I hope it gets better soon. So these are the two we're going to do today, and they're the last two in our set 1. So we've done amazing work for 29 lessons. And then so our 30th lesson, we will start looking at set 2, and we'll find out what those are tomorrow. But let's have a quick look at yesterday. This was our sound. Okay, if you can say that. But we also looked at what we call the discrimination, that tiny little change between this sound and this sound and this sound. It's very common to mix those 3 sounds up. So if you think of the Marvel hero Thor, and then you think of the number 4, then they sound so similar. And that's why spelling's really tricky. So spellings, although we spend a lot of time looking at visually what spellings are, actually we need to be thinking about how they sound and really hearing those tiny little bits. So spelling is predominantly about sound, not sight. And that's one of the interesting confusions, I think. A lot of people, particularly that struggle with spelling, try to memorize through sight. And we need to remember that it's around sound. So spelling out syllables, looking at those different tiny sounds, and these as well. So these, unk and sound very similar, don't they? And we'll look at those today as well. Your right hand's in pain, is it? Okay, so you're left-handed. Okay, so we've done our retrieval for think, for face, and for vice. So that's what we did yesterday. We also learnt, we've been doing the days of the week, days of the month, and numbers, haven't we? Okay, so we're going to have a look at carrying on with our numbers. We're going to go up to 20, and then after that, we're going to do 30, 40, 50, up to 100. Okay, and then I'm going to go back so we can remember how to do I'm going to add in days of the week and days of the month in our spelling quiz. But today we've got the 5 numbers that you learnt yesterday and 5 of our red tricky words shuffled up. All right. So got your pens and paper ready? Number 1. I've shuffled the numbers up as well, but the first number we're going to do is 2. The number 2. And for an extra bit, A and B, can you think of the other ways? There's 3 ways of spelling 2 that we did yesterday. So this is the number 2. And this is the other 2s. Okay. Now, number 2, confusingly, you'd think I'd put 2 there, wouldn't you? But I like to confuse you. That's to keep you on your toes. So number 2 is talk. I talk through spelling with Jules and you listen. Talk. Number 3. Now I have done the same number this time. Number 3, written. How do you spell 3? How do you spell 3? And number 4, Florrie's already done her 2s, well done. Number 4 is tall. I am tall. Or I am not tall, actually. Tall. The opposite of short. Not the type of tool that you would use for a spanner or a hammer. I will write that though when we go through our spellings maybe. I'll just put a little asterisk there to remind me. Number 5. Okay, this is a number. And I'm keeping you on your toes because I didn't put it at 4. So it's the number 4. But there's also 3 ways of spelling 4, if you can remember. Just some added challenge there. If you want to do it, you don't have to. Number 2 was talk. Talk. I talk, you listen. Talk. So number 5 was 4. Number 6. Now we've done this before, so this is a reminder. And Stephen, it's Darth. We talked about Darth Vader for this one, didn't we? It's father. So who is the father? Who is Darth Vader father to? Father. Okay, and then I'm going to do 7 here. Number 7 is another number, and it's number 5. Number 5. I try to shuffle all these up. That's why they're not on the numbers, just to keep you on your toes. Otherwise, sometimes you can remember spellings through order, which is a good memory technique, but it doesn't help if you want that letter when they're not in order. Stephen, number 3 was 3, the number 3 as well. And number 4 was tall. So I am not tall, I am short. Tall. Okay, now Isla, if you're here, this is for you. See if you can remember from yesterday. It's caught. I caught a ball. Caught. Now I'm going to put an asterisk there because there's another caught as well, as in a law court. But this one is from catch. So I caught a ball. And 6 was father, Stephen. Number 9, your. Not you are, your. Your, as in it's your turn. It's your turn to play on chess or something. So your, number 9. I'll go through these quickly if you're a bit confused. And number 10 is a nice easy one, I hope, because it's phonetic, which often a lot of our red tricky words aren't. 6. It's nice and simple. 6. Okay, let me run through them one more time so you can check. So number 1 was the number 2, but also A and B were 2 other ways of spelling 2. Number 2 was talk. Okay, I talk, you listen, talk. Number 3 was 3, the number 3. Number 4, tall, opposite of short, tall. Number 5, 4, as in the number 4, but there are 2 other ways of spelling 4 as an added extra. Number 6, father. Number 7, 5. Number 8, caught, as in I caught a ball. Number 9, your. It's your turn, your. And number 10, 6. 6. Okay, here we go. Quick reminder. So number 1 was 2. So T is like two almost. TWO, 2. But there's also 2, which means as well. So, oh, I like him too. That's 00. And then B, I'm just going to squeeze it in there, is TO. So I walk to the shops. So you've got TWO, TOO, and TO. All right. And remember, tick or fix. So if you're doing, let's do the next one. So talk is TALK. But if you'd spelt it maybe like that, or then what you could do is tick T, instead of, don't cross it out, tick T, tick K, but look, you can also tick A, and then you've only got to fix that W to an L. Okay, and it's very important that you do that. Lots of people just cross it out and go, I got it wrong, and feel really bad about it. And then you look back and they've got lots of the letters right and maybe only 1 or 2 wrong. So it's much easier to mark your spelling like that. Okay, number 3 is actually the word 3. So it's with the TH that we did yesterday. Remember the tongue between, and then 3. Now, can you just hear the R, 3, and then the E sound? Okay, so we've got E, 3. Now, number 4 was tall, so it's all. Oh, was it? Yes, I've got those A, B's in the wrong place, haven't I? Okay, that's for this one. Okay, tall, TALL. And that word there, all, can also be a word, can't it? And it's on its own, and then you put a T at front. But there is another one. I'm going to try and draw. What am I going to try and draw? That's supposed to be. Oh no, that looks rubbish. Oh, I can't do it. Oh, yes, I can. A hammer. You know me and my terrible drawings. Okay, that's supposed to be a hammer, a very bad one. But that then comes from a toolkit. And that is all, tool. So you've got tall, as in opposite of short, and then you've got tool like a hammer or a spanner or a screwdriver or something. Oh, I should have done a screwdriver. That would have been easier to draw. Anyway, number 5 is 4. Okay, the number 4. I've suddenly thought we should do the sign language for numbers, shouldn't we? So I might do that tomorrow. Do up to 10 in sign language for 1 to 10. So FOUR, or. The reason that's difficult is because of this OU sound there, or the not the sound so much as the letters OU. Okay, the other way of spelling 4, which is much easier, or. Okay, so that's the number 4, as in 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is I need this 4. Okay, so that will, and then there's this other one that means you can have a forward or a foreman or a forewoman or to the fore, and it means a sort of front person or the front. Okay, and that's with an E on the end. So you've got 4, 4, and 4. Okay, and that's quite tricky as well, isn't it? Because it's got an E on the end, but that O doesn't become an O. It's more that or sound with an E on the end. So the only one really is the easy to spell is that one. Okay, so number 6, father. Now there are also 2 ways of spelling father, but the father as in son and father, Darth Vader is the father of Luke Skywalker. So it's, and then the R sound is just the letter A. That's why this one's tricky. And then The other way of doing father is much easier, and it's to do with distance. So it is farther away. Okay, and you spell that one like this. There's further and farther. So, and that's easier because it's AR. But often people spell this type of father like this. Quite, it makes sense, doesn't it? Okay, so all these words, that's why they're so tricky, aren't they? They sometimes sound the same but are spelt differently. Sometimes they sound the same and are spelt the same but mean different things. And then other times they're just spelt differently. So that's why it's so tricky. Let's look now. Number 7 is 5. Okay, so you spell it I-E. Okay, and that in a way is a nice easy one because we know our split digraph, don't we? So it goes, and then the I becomes an I because of that E, and then that we did yesterday. So we did yesterday, didn't we? So I've. All right, and number 8. Let's see if we can remember that A-U-G-H rather than the O-U-G-H. So k, ought. And that's the past tense of catch. I caught a ball. Okay, 2 more. Number 9 is your. So ya, or, Y-O-U-R. Not to be confused. It's getting a bit busy on here, isn't it? Sorry. But not to be confused with this one, which is you are. And often you'll see lots of confusion there. I sometimes do it myself, especially on Twitter or Facebook, when you're typing quickly, because they sound so similar, and you go, and you use this your for that one. But if you really think about it, that's you are. But that is, so this is your coat. You're going to put your coat on. So you are going to put your coat on. And the last one, number 10, hopefully nice and easy for you. 6. We've done recently, haven't we? X. So we're going to spell that with signs. So X. 6. Oh, you got 5 out of 10 because you got confused. Yeah. Okay. Your brother's tablet's loud. Are you sharing a room? What if you can use headphones, Stephen, maybe? But well done anyway. So remember as well, the ones you got right, tick the letters. Okay, and then fix the letters that you haven't got right. That was a busy spelling quiz today, though, wasn't it? Because although we did 10, let's count up. We did 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So really we did 17 words there. So that is good. Isla got 10 out of 10 and she got caught right. Brilliant. Yippee. Absolutely. 10 out of 10 for Ronan. Well done. And well done, Stephen, because it's harder if there's lots of noise. And it's what I say, isn't it, that spelling's about hearing. So if you're not hearing those sounds because you've got a noisy background, that can often happen in class as well. There's lots of other things happening. It's much harder to learn your phonics and your small sounds because you've got to really get your ear, or if you've had glue ear. I don't know if any of you have ever had glue ear. Glue ear can really affect your spelling for a long time because it's all about hearing. Well, not all. Obviously, we see things too, but a lot about hearing. Okay, great. So that's brilliant. We've done our spelling quiz. Well done, everybody. Right, now we're going to do our new sounds. And these are the last sounds. So it's very exciting. This is a seminal moment for us because these are the last sounds from set 1. And once you've got these sounds, then you're really on your way to being a brilliant speller for life. So it's brilliant work that you've all done. And remember, you can always go back. If you've missed any lessons, go back and look at the lessons that you've missed if you want to. They're all on YouTube. Okay, so let's have a think. So we've got let's do here. So let's do writing it first. So if that's your line, if you're printing, you start here, go up and around, and then for the G, you start up here, go round like that, and then down. And remember, that's your halfway point of your lines. Okay, and that's called your descender, isn't it? Because it goes down. Okay, and then the K has got an ascender. So let's do the K as well. So again, this is your halfway point for the other ones. Do a line there maybe. I'm going to make that here. Visually, this can look quite confusing if you struggle with what's called placement. And one way of doing this with a highlighter is to highlight the bottom half of your lines and practice writing in there. That can really help with placement. I think before I promised to show you that, so I will do that. Okay, next lesson I'll get a highlighter and a ruler and I'll show you how you can colour in the bottom half of your lines in your textbook, in your exercise book if you've got one, and it really helps with placement. We call it placing it on the line. Thank you, Ronan. 9 minutes to go. Right, so we've got unk. So if you're printing again, I'm going to do joined up after. So if you're printing, you go up and around, and then the K has got an ascender rather than a descender, so you do your nice line here, and then you can do your K. Okay, let's do joined up. I'm going to do it all on the same line here. So again, joined up, you start on the line, you go up, you go down, you go around, and then you join up here, so you can go up, down, and then you can do your K like that. Okay, or your G goes up and around. Remember that curly K? Curly K? Okay, so I'm going to do that really roughly so you can sort of see that again. So it goes up, down, up, down. I'm doing it really quickly just so you can sort of get the right direction. Up, down, up, and then around and down. Okay, so have a good practice. If you want to practice, do it in big writing, do it in little writing, do it outside, do it in shaving foam, even cream, whatever you want, just to get that direction right and have a real practice handwriting. So let's think of some words now that begin with or unk. Okay, so the first one I've got, and actually it's a sign as well, it's sing. So you go sing. So you've got Okay, so it's 2 letters but 1 sound. You have to get your head around that, especially for set 2 from tomorrow. Okay, so Okay, we call that 1 sound even though it's two letters. Sing. Okay, can you think of any more? We've got thing. So we've got that sound. and then I, and then thing. So here we've got 3 sounds. Can you see that? But using 5 letters. So f, I, so it's 3 sounds, 5 letters, because these 2 are 1 sound with 2 letters. Okay, but it's still, just to confuse you further, it's only 1 syllable. Thing. Yeah? So it's 5 letters, 3 sounds, and 1 syllable. If you can get your head around that, if you can work that out, then your spelling will improve. If you can know syllables, sounds, and letters. Okay. Oh, Isla's on, look at this. Ink, think, sink, stink, bunk. Can you hear that? Unk, bank, chunk, thing, happening, ding, doing, sing. They're lovely. Very good. And Stephen as well. Sink, sunk, sting. Lovely. You can really hear it, can't you? So practice saying it out loud. You might feel a bit silly if you're on your own. If you're with somebody else, you can say them together. But if you're on your own, do try and say them, because hearing it and doing it, writing it, all helps with your spelling. We call it multisensory. So doing it in every way possible. Putting it in a sentence. Okay. Sunk. That's a good one, isn't it? And you can see that is a nice one to sound out. If I write that first, we go s, unk. And notice the difference, because if you took the K off, it would be sun. And then you put a K on and it changes it, doesn't it? So you go from sun to sunk. And you almost lose that n sound, don't you? Because it's unk. So that's why it's 2 letters and 1 sound. Sunk. Lovely work, everybody. Okay. Ronan's doing 3 minutes to go. Thank you, Ronan. Ronan's doing us a lovely. I went to the shop to do some shopping. Good. And that's an ing on the ing. And that reminds us, it's the last thing I wanted to do today. Let's get some, I'll get one more ink up here. I wanted to do, how about this one? Look, this is in the middle of the word. This is a hard one. So you've got blank, but then you can also change it to blanket. So each time it's got that unk, blank or blanket. Yeah, got that unk sound. All right. And I just wanted to remind you with the ing that Ronan was talking about, like shopping was a good one. You remember our roots? So we have our root words down here, and then we have our prefix, the bit that goes at the front of a word that you can add on, or a suffix. Okay, so let's do Ronan's word shopping. So we've got sh, oh, and then we double up the P because we've got this 1 syllable and a short vowel there. And then we put our ing, our ung. So I, ung. So sh, o, p, I, ung. Okay, so our root word is shop, and our suffix is ing. Okay, let's have a look at some. Stephen's got a lovely one here. I love this one. I sunk under the stinky sand. That's a brilliant one. I love it. And we've got another one here. Obviously, the word stinky is very popular. The stinky ink sunk into the bunk bed. Very good. Some really nice ones there. Okay, and really hearing that unk and that ing. Have a good old practice with that today. And sometimes to practice, you can exaggerate, as you can hear me doing. So the stinky ink sunk into the bunk bed. And if you really exaggerate it and be silly with it, that can help your sounds. So it's all about being silly as well. I like being silly. Okay, good. So as Ronan has reminded me, we've gone over a little bit of time. So let's quickly do our new words for tomorrow. And I will test you on them tomorrow. Okay, so the first new word, remember we're doing numbers. So we're going to go right up to 100. But when we do things like 21, we don't need to do, obviously. So I'll go 20, 30, 40. Yeah, time up. So quickly, let's quickly do these. So number 1 is 7. So So 5 sounds there, no doubling up of letters. 7. Number 2, this is a really hard one because it's 5 letters, but only 2 sounds. So you've got A. Honestly, how on earth, who came up with the idea of spelling A like that? E-I-G-H and then T. So you've got A, T. So it's only 2 sounds, even though it's 5 letters. Rude. We should go back in time and tell people off for making our spelling so difficult. Number 3 is 9. That's a bit easier. So remember our split digraph. So we've got N. The I becomes an I because of the E, and then another N. So N, I, N, 9. Number 4, 10. Nice and easy. I feel like a bingo. Nice and easy, number 10. N. 10. Okay, and that is the number 10. Yeah. And the final one before I let you all go is 11. What are you saying, Stephen? It's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. So 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 11. So here we've got an E and an E. So the same letter with different sounds. So E, L, E, V, N. That's quite a hard one. So it's got even in it, hasn't it? Like Stephen. So, but we don't say 11. We say 11 because that there is an E. Okay, so E. So E, L, E, V, E, N. Some of us say 11, don't we? So who says 11 or 11? It's up to you, but it's definitely an E. 11. Okay, try and memorize those for tomorrow, and I'll quiz you with 5 more shuffled up. Well done, everybody. A great lesson today. I just have to add in a few more sentences here. Look. Oh, I'm not sure if I can. Not working. I wonder it might be because it's... Let's have a look. Oh, it has come up. The thing sunk with a plonk and a plunk, singing and swinging to the splashing and thrashing song. That's amazing. Okay, and then we've got singing a ding-dong song. Excellent. We've got a few more new comments. So everybody else now is saying goodbye and thank you. So I will see you tomorrow. I'm going to leave this one up. Well done, Florrie, until tomorrow. So, yeah, see you tomorrow. And we're on to set 2. Yay!